Hi, Alex here from Boost Your Body, and I just want to talk to you very quickly about the latest government three-tier scheme they've got in place to help control COVID and how it affects us and how it affects you. So the first thing you should note is you can still train. We are still able to train you in our small groups. The one caveat is we're not allowed to let you mix. And what does mix mean, I hear you say? Well, essentially all it means is what we can't let you do is at the end of a session, stay inside the studio and talk to your friends, ignoring social distancing and all the other stuff that's essential to keeping us safe. So after a session, we're just going to need to make sure you leave promptly before we can clean the studio down, clean the weights down for the next group that are going to come in. So I know some of you may be worried potentially about coming to the gym, and there's some very important statistics which I've taken from the government website, which actually show just how safe gyms are at the moment, especially in comparison to other places where you may end up going. So really the summary is still train, still come down, you can still exercise, it's still allowed, and we are still going to be able to do it nice and safely. In fact, I'm now going to take you inside and just show you what we are doing to make sure it's nice and safe for you. So our COVID secure venues and the measures we've put in place will actually be in place before you even step through the front door. And basically what that means is when you come to your training session, you'll be queuing up outside, and your trainer's going to let you in one by one so you can sanitize your hands with a hand sanitizer. You can check in using the QR code for the NHS COVID-19 app if you wish. You don't have to, because we use a booking system. We do have the data that we need to, should the worst come to the worst. Then you can grab your weights. The weights are sanitized after every session. You can walk over a nice shiny wooden floor, which is also cleaned after every session. And you can take your space in one of your training zones, which makes sure we keep social distancing in place and keep you away from other people as per government guidelines. You do your training session, the coach will be able to instruct you from a safe place. There won't be hands-on, obviously, so it's not quite the full experience, but it's as good as, or as nearly as good as. Once you've finished your training session, you will be asked to put your mat, unless you're using your own, and weights back on the rack, and they will be cleaned, sanitized, disinfected between the next group coming in. So it's nice and clean every single session. A note on ventilation: the aircon units in the studios, they provide the sufficient ventilation in accordance with the government guidelines, because they extract the air as well as cooling, and that basically means that the air inside the studio in West Bridgford is replaced every 10 minutes, and in Beeston we have additional measures to make sure that the ventilation is up to scratch. So in a nutshell, still train, you should still train, stay fit and healthy, never been more important. I think everyone's aware by now that the impact of COVID on people who are less fit and healthy and perhaps carrying a little bit extra weight is more significant than those who are healthier, fitter. So really now is the time to take control of your health, maybe get rid of that lockdown tummy, which we all have, speaker included, and get down to a safe training environment. So whether that's with us or whether that is with someone else, just make sure it's COVID compliant, but there is no need to stop going to the gym, as I think the chart that you've seen earlier from the government website amply demonstrates. So hopefully that provides you a little bit of reassurance about what we're doing, and we will hope to see you in our studio very soon.